As 2021 draws to a close and my first full year of doing this sort of content along with it, I wanted to offer my thoughts upon the awards season. Now, as you can expect, any awards that I hand out today won't be industry recognised. There's no physical rewards, there's no stickers that can go on the boxes. But there are possible bragging rights. I hope. Anyhow, any game that you're going to see in today's awards ceremony is things that I've played through the course of the year that released in 2021. Whether they be on things like Game Pass, Stadia Pro, PlayStation Now, PlayStation Plus, or whether I've bought them personally, the games are what I have had access to, not the industry standard. As such, there are going to be games missing that you may want to be as part of the awards, but please don't feel aggrieved by that. It's just simply, I'm not made of money, so it can only be what most interests me that ends up upon this list. Now, there are going to be multiple categories so that everybody can get a look in edgeways and everybody has a bit of a chance, at least of the games that I've played, and we will culminate in my personal game of the year. So, without any further ado, welcome everybody, my name is Doragon and this is my Game Awards video for 2021. First up on the list is the award for the best ongoing game. Now, these games don't really need an introduction or description. They're ongoing. They've been around for years and they keep calling players back. To be awarded in this sector means that the developers have changed tack, reacted to community feedback, done amazing things that the community wasn't expecting, and so on. And all the while, still had a loyal and vocal fanbase. So, the nominees for Best Ongoing Game of the Year are Marvel's Avengers, Destiny 2, Pokemon Go, Fortnite, Dauntless, and Apex Legends. And the winner is Destiny 2. A game that I've personally put a few hundred days into. Destiny 2 has never quite stepped up to that pinnacle ongoing game in my eyes in years previous. In 2021 though, a massive change in storytelling, rewards, balancing, accessibility, communication and engagement has finally elevated it to that upper echelon. Bungie have finally got out of their own way and are providing an experience that longtime fans have wanted. Constantly sitting in the top 5 most viewed on Twitch and the top 3 most played on Steam since September 2021 shows the meteoric rise of this 4-year-old title. Now, while there are still challenges such as new player orientation, content pricing, and work ethos and inclusivity at the development studio, this game has done more this year than any other on this list to entice and reward its longtime fans, and that is why it takes the title of the best ongoing game for 2021. Award number 2. The biggest F-up. Now honestly, I thought about adding this category back in January with the Cyberpunk launch as a bit of a joke. It was based around all of the issues that caused CD Projekt Red. I thought, obviously, no one can match such a cluster of a situation because developers would learn from it and make sure that it didn't happen to them. So it was literally going to be a jokey, hey, remember how this year started and how bad it was for gaming? But it seems that developers took the Cyberpunk situation as a challenge rather than a warning and went about effing up in every single way imaginable. So we actually have a full category of messes to go through this year. So without further ado, the nominees are CD Projekt Red for the Cyberpunk launch debacle, Amazon Games for the ongoing New World debacle, Bungie for the dungeon content cost pricing during the Witch Queen expansion, Nintendo for the Switch Online expansion pack cost and performance, the gaming community as a whole for harassment, abuse and death threats of creators and developers, Ubisoft for failing to tackle internal abuse that 25% of staff have experienced, and finally, Activision Blizzard for being sued by the state for frat boy culture and abuse. And the winner of the award that nobody wants is Activision Blizzard. Look, this joke, it turned into something serious. This year, we have seen video game developers take advantage at every possible turn, at every possible level. Whether of their staff or fans, platforms, minorities, industry trends. For every one good thing, there have been many more bad, and the magnitude of these bad things has been so much greater than the positives that we've received. Just because I personally deem Activision Blizzard to be the worst of these scenarios, having caused actual death through their actions, it doesn't let any of the others off the hook. Being mentioned in this awards sector means that you've at least messed up with your community losing trust, or you've taken it to full-on illegal levels causing outrage. All developers need to do better. They need to be better at looking after their staff and eliminating workplace abuse, whether that be physical, mental, sexual, crunch, whatever. They also need to stop releasing unfinished games. There is zero trust with the likes of CDPR and Amazon Games right now, but they're only two of the biggest problems this year. Ubisoft, Activision, Bethesda and co, they've all released unfinished, bug-riddled titles, along with others. And we as customers, we need to stop accepting these unfinished games as the norm. We as customers need to stop accepting abuse as the norm. And we need to stop brushing it aside so that we can play the next big game that we want to from these abusive developers. We as customers need to hold abusive voices online to account and tell them with no uncertain terms when they're out of line. We as a gaming community can and should do better. I hope that if I do this category again, it can return to being a bit of a joke. But we'll have to wait and see till the end of next year for that one. Award number 3. The biggest disappointment. Now, disappointment comes in many forms. It can be from an inability to live up to expectations, or reviews overhyping a product not worthy of that praise. It can be a narrative conclusion or a game delay. Disappointment has many different faces, and in a world still suffering the COVID pandemic, disappointment has been rife in 2021. So, with great deliberation, I have narrowed it down to just 5 choices. And the nominees are Deathloop, Assassin's Creed Valhalla after launch content, Microsoft's Bethesda acquisition, Nintendo 64 Online, and the Horizon Forbidden West delay. And the winner is Deathloop. Had you asked me before May and my swearing off of Ubisoft titles due to their abuse, this would have been a tight run thing between Valhalla's after launch content and Deathloop. If I cared about more than, say, Fallout from Bethesda, I may even have been disappointed as a guy who mains PlayStation at the Microsoft acquisition. Even then, though, I think Deathloop would have taken the prize. Hyped by Bethesda, Sony, and Microsoft prior to launch, it was then offered near-perfect reviews by so many outlets for what, in my eyes, is a concept of a game at best. It's far too easy. It's on rails the entire time. AI is the dumbest I have ever encountered in a AAA title, and the narrative is so predictable that I called it within the first 2 hours of the game. It feels like an initial concept and not a finished product. So much so that, for the first time in over a decade, I didn't keep playing past the credits to earn more trophies. Deathloop dropped the ball on every single metric to impress the player, and despite some nominees being big shouts for many people, for me, this stands above as the biggest disappointment. Award number 4. Best Party Game. The concept of party games has changed somewhat in recent years. With live service squad-based titles releasing in every genre, it could be argued that every game is a party game. But for me personally, the personification of the party game is the one that you play with other people in the same room, or, if done online, feels like you're playing in the same room. They are some of the simplest, most fun games out there, and can either make or break friendships and family bonds. And the nominees for Best Party Game 2021 are Jackbox Games Party Pack 8, Knockout City, Mario Party Superstars, First Class Trouble, Mario Golf Super Rush. And the winner is Mario Party Superstars. This was a stacked list of options, and these are just some of the new releases of 2021. There are plenty from previous years that are still in many people's rotations, like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Garry's Mod, and Uno as examples. I'd even go as far as to throw Halo Infinite's multiplayer in with its 12-person big team battles and custom games as an honourable mention. But through all of that, there is still no one better at the party game genre than Mario. And with a reprisal of some of the best maps, boards and minigames from past titles as a sort of best-of album, Mario Party Superstars hits all of the right notes. From twinges of nostalgia to utter joy and annoyance at your friends stealing yet another star from you. Mario Party Superstars balances the old and the new perfectly for a superb experience, whether you win or lose. And this is why it stands above, even in an ultra-high caliber stable. Award number 5. The Best Cloud Service. Cloud gaming is the obvious future of the gaming industry. Being able to play AAA titles on any device, wherever you have an internet connection, is such a freeing experience, and not one to be undersold. There are many ideas currently about how to do it, from remote access options like GeForce Now or Anywhere, to the Netflix or Spotify approach like Luna or xCloud. Everyone uses different technology and ideals to offer their currently available cloud services. So, who does it best in 2021? The nominees for Best Cloud Service are Microsoft's xCloud, Nvidia's GeForce Now, Sony's PlayStation Now, Amazon's Luna, Google's Stadia. And the winner is Stadia. In 2020, this wasn't even a competition about who was best. Stadia was miles ahead of the competition, but 2021 has seen that gap close somewhat. While PlayStation Now and xCloud do have the games, PlayStation Now is limited by the hardware that you require, and xCloud is completely unstable with quirks in what it deems are appropriate network connections. Stadia has none of those issues and offers a dual-fronted approach, with the ability to buy games in the latest gen format and keep them, or pay monthly and get up to 7 inclusive games per month. Stadia bridges the gap between old and new perfectly. With no cost to entry, 4K 60 FPS HDR visuals on screens that support it, native and web apps for any internet-connected device, be that Android, iOS, Mac, Windows, or smart TVs, and even some cars. It is still the most versatile and reliable cloud service currently on the market, and worthy of the award of Best in 2021. Though the competition is thankfully heating up. Award number 6. The Best Re-Release. The re-release is a genre that was first made popular at the start of the HD era. It's continued onwards into the 9th gen, primarily due to the cell processor of the PlayStation 3 limiting backwards compatibility. It has become such an industry standard now, though, that it's still happening in 2021. But it's more than just fresher and prettier graphics now. These games, they re-release with more content, new generation hardware integrations, the original vision reinstated a la the Snyder Cut, or re-releasing on different platforms, and of course, a plethora of other reasons. So the nominations for the best re-release of the year are Mass Effect Legendary Edition, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition, Hades Next Generation Release, Ghost of Tsushima The Director's Cut, Nier Replicant version 1.224744871139. And the winner is Ghost of Tsushima The Director's Cut. Stunning and mind-blowing at the end of the PlayStation 4's lifespan, on PS5 it is a different and better experience yet again. Implementing all of the hardware features to heighten immersion, the heartfelt and beautiful story of Jin Sakai lands with much more weight when you feel it, as well as see and play it. It is a stunning example of what next gen can do, and it wasn't even built for this generation. A truly worthy winner of the best re-release title. Ultimate Game of the Year. The mightiest of mighty prizes. What makes an Ultimate Game of the Year? There are, of course, multiple factors. But for me, a complete experience that stays with the player long after it's completed is fairly primary. A story like God of War or Marvel's Spider-Man will raise a title into contention. Mechanics as solid and well thought out as Destiny 2's will put a game into contention. A twist on the formula like Breath of the Wild gives the game X factor and longevity that generic design just simply doesn't. You bring all of that together, and you should then have your Game of the Year contenders. So with that said, my nominations for my Game of the Year are Halo Infinite, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Returnal, Forza Horizon 5, and Metroid Dread. And the winner of my Ultimate Game of the Year 2021 is Returnal. An early year release and one of the first big next-generation titles, Returnal blew me away in April and continues to this day. Its brilliant implementation of the PlayStation's DualSense controller, the visuals, art direction, audio design, 3D audio implementation, music, mechanics, load times, narrative, player autonomy, replayability, the list goes on. As I have played through the rest of my year, I've compared every game to Returnal. It is the yardstick that I judge the 9th generation releases by. Forza is great fun, but it isn't anything new, and if you've played Forza Horizon 4, you're getting more of that here, just on a new map. Halo is a new and interesting twist on the old shooter formula. But loading screens a year into the next generation? Open world bandit camps and a loot system that we've seen a million times before? It's just done to death by this point. Metroid Dread is brilliant, but it's hindered by hardware that was designed in 2013 and feels like its scope was scaled back. Ratchet & Clank is definitely a next generation release. It's yet another one from Insomniac Games, who can churn out high quality titles without crunch and attrition at a rate that the rest of the industry just simply can't. But it's Ratchet & Clank. Heartfelt story, sure, epic mechanics, but more of the same. Returnal is new. It's a new twist on shooters, a new twist on roguelikes, a new twist on sci-fi, mystery, and horror. It was executed near flawlessly, and that is why I personally hold it up as the best game of 2021 and what I compare every other title to this year. Well done, Housemarque. A truly well-deserved Game of the Year award. As always, guys, any video, any ranking list, awards ceremony, anything like that that involves opinions is completely subjective. What is great to me may not be great to you, and therefore my Game of the Year might not be your personal Game of the Year. That's why I've called this one my Game of the Year. I'm one person. I am not made of money, and I can't play all of the games that are available on the market. I mean, there's that much available that I'm only just getting around to games from 2015, like Rise of the Tomb Raider, which I'm currently playing and rather enjoying. So, if your Game of the Year hasn't been in this video, please don't be aggrieved by it. It's simply that I haven't got round to playing it, I can't afford it, or it's one of those games that, because I have to buy everything myself, simply doesn't interest me, and that's not a bad thing. Us all being slightly different is a wonderful thing for the gaming industry, creates competition, and allows us all to have wonderful and varied experiences. So I would like to thank you all very much for tuning in. Ranking videos are quite hard to put together. You need a lot of footage, a lot of patience, a lot of editing to get these together, and for this short, nearly half-hour video, it's taken almost as much work, if not more, than those big hour-and-a-half in-depth reviews that I do. So thank you for tuning in and watching this video. But also I'd like to offer a massive thank you for 2021 to everybody watching this video and any other video that you've watched this year. I started this year with around 40 subscribers on YouTube and roughly 50 minutes of watch time per month. At the end of this year, I am at over 450 subscribers, nearly halfway to that magical 1,000 number, and I've got over 4,000 watch hours per month. It's an amazing achievement, an amazing level of growth, and I've only got you guys to thank for it. So thank you. Thank you for tuning in, thank you for commenting on these videos, thank you for asking for different videos. The Cloud Gaming List ranking video was made because you guys asked for it, the Assassin's Creed Odyssey review was made because you guys asked for it. Please keep those sort of things coming. If there's something you want to see from me, let me know in the comment section below, and hopefully I can put that out there for you. But a massive heartfelt thank you for this year. It's meant the absolute world, and fingers crossed we can continue that onward and upward trajectory in 2022. In the meantime, guys, thank you so much for your viewership. Don't forget to do the normal YouTube thing, so like the video, wherever the like is. Hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it for notifications of when new content goes live. You can follow me from the socials down in the description box below. There's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's Discord. Discord and Twitter are probably the best ones to stay up to date with what's going on. You can also comment down below with your thoughts on Game of the Year, anything that you've done that's hugely positive and rewarding in 2021. Let's have a bit of a feel-good moment down below. But otherwise, your viewership is more than enough for me. Thank you so much for your viewership, guys. Thank you for this year. Have yourselves an absolutely fantastic day. And until next time, my name is Doragon. This has been my Video Game Awards in 2021. And until 2022, take care.